Welcome back to Fandom Nights, where we break down pop culture one fandom at a time. I'm Sherman. This is Chris. We're gonna try things a little bit differently. Where we're gonna watch the episode while we're actually giving you a breakdown on things.
Yeah, so I don't know if we'll go down through the whole story and everything, but maybe we can just kind of talk about what's happening, and we're just winging this. We're going to practice, but we're just going to wing this one, so we'll see what happens.
We're figuring things out.
Yeah.
So last time we had...
face in there a little bit more.
Last time we had Aang, Katara, and Sokka just leaving the... They're leaving the Southern Water Tribe.
Yes. Sorry, we got to start this right. So this episode is the third episode. It's titled The Southern Air Temple. It was released on February 25th of 2005, so it was the first episode that was not released at the same time. This is a week later than the original two episodes. And it was given a 8.5 rating on IMDb, so this is the highest rated episode we've watched so far.
Wow.
Yeah.
So each episode's actually getting better, isn't it? Or was the first one 8 point?
The first one was 8.1. 8.3, 8.5.
So every episode is actually getting a better rating.
So Book 1, Chapter 3, The Southern Air Temple.
So they just left the Southern Water Tribe, and they're heading toward... They're making a bunch of pit stops.
Yeah. I don't think it actually shows any of their pit stops. I think it just shows... I mean, they're pit stopped here, but it doesn't show any of the crazy pit stops that Aang was talking about last episode.
It does, actually.
Oh, it does?
Not in this episode, but...
Okay. He does, I noticed in the map that he was pointing, we gotta go here, we gotta go here.
I know, it's a zigzag.
Well, he points down to the Southern Water Tribe, if you look at the map.
Oh.
And I have a breakdown map I should show you when we're done, of their travels. It'll be kind of cool to, trace through and follow as we're watching through these shows, but... So it starts off with
them they're at camp.
Breaking camp and getting ready to go.
I love that. Hey, Sokka, let's go.
Aang has to mess with Sokka a little bit.
Just let me sleep. Yeah. Hey,
so,
now you're up.
Then we go to the Fire Nation. All this.
So I love the similarities between because the creators wanted them to be more like a Nazi Germany kind of feel to it with their heavy armory and whatnot.
Yeah, that definitely feels like that.
So this is our first encounter with Commander Zhao.
Commander Zhao,
who's voiced by Jason Isaacs, by the way.
Who's he?
So this is the one that I was telling you about before, where he's the guy who plays he's in The Patriot.
Oh, does he play Randall? No, not Randall. What the heck is the bad guy in The Patriot?
Yep, he plays...
I just watched that movie. It's a good movie. Yeah, so they're going to go through the Fire Nation and stuff, talk about other stuff. While we're seeing what happens here, I can say... so this episode, I wanted to talk about the Chinese symbol that's used for Aang.
Okay.
This one is kind of funny. It's now that we're back with our group here, they're going to go to the Southern Air Temple now. So Aang is a picture of his name in Chinese literally means quiet or peace, calm or tranquil. But when you break it down into the components, the first component is woman and the second component is house. And woman is a person in a kneeling position, and it's a mixture of kneeling and person, and house is a building with walls and a roof. So the implication for the Chinese symbol for Aang is when the woman is in the house, all is well. Which, I don't know what to say about that. But that's what the symbol means.
So
now they're...
Oh, Katara's explaining about how the Fire Navy
attacked their tribe.
Killed their mom.
Yeah, which was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So she would have been 4 years old, and she remembers all that?
I mean, yeah.
I suppose 4 years old, you'd remember some big traumatic thing like that happening.
Oh, especially a life-altering event like that.
Yeah.
Oh, So Jason Isaacs is best known for, or one of his most prominent roles was Lucius Malfoy in the Harry Potter series. He plays Draco's dad.
Okay.
However, he fashioned Zhao's character after Colonel William in Patriot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
He wanted to portray him like that, where he's just like cold-hearted.
Yeah. So earlier in the episode when they were breaking camp and stuff, he talks about a brickle snake. What the heck is a brickle snake? Does it
Did you say? I thought he said a prickle snake.
prickle snake? So is it like a porcupine snake? I wonder if we end up seeing those.
I don't know.
Oh, and then earlier, right before we're back at the Fire Nation now. Right before that, General Iroh says ginseng tea is his favorite. I thought jasmine tea was his favorite. But he says ginseng tea twice in this episode, where he says, "No, ginseng tea is my favorite." I don't know. It's weird.
It's, I mean, he's always doing stuff for tea.
Yeah. More tea, please.
Can you imagine? So you get exiled by your father, the Fire Lord, and you have some random dude. Not random, but you have a guy in the Fire Navy who's like, "Do you have any loyalty to the Fire Nation at all anymore?" And like, really, man? My whole life is based around this right now.
Right.
Like,
so there's a couple people there that didn't have face shields on, so they're not benders.
I'm assuming they and they're
I'm gonna have to keep track of that through this whole
too.
episode. Yeah, the ones with the weapons are not benders. Oh yeah, Sokka's just hungry this entire episode.
Where's the meat?
I just want food.
That's a lot his shtick through a lot of the series.
Oh, food, running jokes. Think about that.
Where the bison would sleep. So they're at the Southern Air Temple.
That's really cool that the airbenders modeled their tattoos off of the flying bison.
Right?
Yeah. And no other tribes or anything have a mark or anything that they do that you know of?
Yeah, not that I know of.
Oh, this airball thing. It kind of reminds me of that. This is like the air version of that underwater ball game that they play in Final Fantasy X. Did you ever play that game?
No.
No? There's like this underwater ball game where it's this ball that's suspended up in this is a sphere of water. And they play this like soccer game, but it's in this sphere. It's super cool. Yep. This is going to be the hard part, is talking over the episode all the time.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know.
So
we'll see how this goes. This is the one instance of water bending in the show where Katara drops some snow.
Another thing for Sokka and showing just complete bravery is he willingly said yes to playing a game with Aang where it's all about airbending as a non-bender. He's like, I have zero chance of winning, but I'm going to play anyway.
But he looked pretty focused on it. He was willing to give it his best.
But I like what he said. He's like, making him feel better is putting me in a world of hurt.
Yeah. Monk Gyatso is the greatest airbender.
I don't know about greatest airbender.
He said is the greatest in the world.
Oh.
That's who he learned from. This is where he makes his little pies. And he makes all these pies just so he can throw them.
I know.
Like, what in the world?
Just, he's ancient, and he just
wants to mess around. That's where Aang got his playfulness from.
Was telling you before you turned 16.
Yeah, so 16. So avatars are told that they're the avatars.
They're
when
revealed
they're 16.
at the age of 16. And I think it's more for building a level of maturity in them.
This is a question from last episode too. Who is Aang's parents? I know it doesn't matter for the show, but when you're born in this world and you have a affinity for bending, do you just where do the air nomads come from? Are they like Jedis where they're picked at a young age or something? Or how do they...
I don't know entirely. They don't really mention it before Aang because
he's not just... I mean, he had to be born from somewhere.
Because in the last episode, he just airbent a bunch of pies onto elders of the temple. Another thing right there. I love that they like still animate the eyes through all the frosting and stuff.
Yeah.
But no, Zuko mentions that he tells Aang, I suppose you don't know much about fathers being raised by monks.
Right. He was raised by monks, but anyone in the water tribes, they are not taken away from their parents and monks. Anyone in the fire nation, in the earth kingdom, none of them are taken away from their parents, but it seems like any airbenders have to be monks and taken away from all their family. So I wonder if there's something to that.
Maybe.
Or where they come from. Because there's all... Do you think airbenders come from all the other nations? And if you're an airbender in the earth nation, then you are brought up to the...
That's possible. I don't know.
I wonder. Because like you said, fire has something to do with airbending. Well, this is where he bends to go get into the...
Yeah, this is where they find the hidden or the secret room that you can only open as an airbender.
As a master or something, he said it, or something like that. Well, but anyway, so firebending has something to do with airbending a little bit. Water bending.
What do you mean?
Well, you said it was related somehow. In our first episode, you were talking about how airbending, or maybe Dustin was, airbending and firebending are kind of related in how they work. But...
Oh, because he was saying that, because Iroh is explaining that how in the first episode, firebending comes from the breath.
From the breath, yeah.
Like... And we cut back to Zuko.
At this point, I'm just going to choose to believe that airbenders are born into all the different tribes, and until we figure out something different. And
yeah, it's hard. It's hard when like Aang's the only airbender in the series.
Yeah,
because like they don't even explain that very well in Legend of Korra.
And the last airbender, so all the airbenders got killed off 100 years ago, say, and then there's not been another airbender born, so maybe my theory doesn't work. I don't know. Where do all the airbenders live? Where's the air tribe?
Right.
Huh. There must have been a tribe somewhere. All the different...
I like that. Hey, this guy's an airbender.
Yeah. And this is where they talk about the airbending cycle, too. Like, I was asking that one day about how come... Is there a certain reason that they talk about needing to master air, then water, then earth, then fire in that order? Yeah. It's because the airbender cycle mirrors that.
Or the Avatar cycle?
Yeah.
It,
This is where he learns about...
That's so weird.
What?
So when they're in the Avatar room, right? Mm-hmm. And they're staring at Avatar Roku.
And yeah, the one
that is not Kyoshi.
No, it's some other random dude.
It's a different Avatar.
Yeah. So 16, they're told that they're the Avatar. I think it shows him becoming the Avatar.
Well,
because you have to choose that object or something. I think it shows.
Well, I was talking to Dustin about that. So every nation has a different way of choosing the Avatar.
Oh.
Or revealing who the Avatar is.
Really?
So the air nomads, we'll see later on, do the whole...
choosing the object?
Choosing 4 toys.
Okay.
Or objects that the Avatar used to use. Mm-hmm. And that's how they figure that out. Because you only have to go through 4 different temples.
Oh, I see.
There's because there's only 4 air temples in the world.
There's only 3.
Because there's the northern air temple, the southern, because they're at the southern air temple. Mm-hmm. No, there's 4 because they visit all 4.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, the eastern air temple I think is the one with like all the.
Here's a map of it.
Oh, jeez.
There's Air Temple, Fire Nation, Air Temple, Air Temple. Unless there's an Air Temple up there. Oh yeah, Northern Air Temple. Okay. Yeah. There's 4.
Because there's one that has where he meets Guru Patik.
Oh, okay. So now this is where Zuko and
Zhao.
Zhao kind of challenge
I
each
will
other.
capture the Avatar before you.
Should we just read it?
Impossible.
I have hundreds of warriors under my command. And you? You're just a banished prince. No home. No allies. Okay. It's going to be the most boring, but...
Obviously, we are not voice actors. But we could be.
He just went... Oh, this is where he mentions his honor for the one time in this episode.
It's so tough, like, early in the series, because, like, Zuko has so much riding on just, like, capturing the Avatar, and that's all he's about.
Yeah.
Like, he's just like, nope, that's all I'm doing. Nobody's going to stand in my way. And everyone he talks to is just like, yeah, I'm going to stand in your way.
Right. Yeah. Watch me humiliate you.
Yeah, so what do you think you would be if you were a bender?
What would I prefer to be?
No. Like, so what do you think you would be?
What do I think I would be?
Based on your personality.
When I was younger, I probably would have been an airbender because I like being agile and jumping around and all this different stuff. Nowadays, I feel like I would be more of an earthbender.
Why is that?
I don't know. I just feel a little more grounded, I guess, and slow moving and just making decisions purposeful, but trying to make the right ones. I don't know.
So keep in mind, like, so earthbenders are typically very straightforward and, like, they attack head on. Like,
Head on?
Yeah, so they're very... Oh, I love this.
Oh yeah, he sees his master dead, and
then Katara sees, like, all the
This
statues.
is the coolest scene because all the other temples all around the world light up because this one lights up, and then everyone knows that the Avatar's back. It's kind of like So this is the Earth Temple. So first time we ever see Earthbenders, the Northern Water Tribe, I'm guessing.
Oh,
and then
so
the fire. Tell the Fire Lord that the Avatar's returned. So they all different cultures have their own temples.
so they're Avatar temples, though.
So this is the
like,
Avatar Temple of the Southern Air Nomads or whatever.
Well,
Southern
I think
Air
so.
Temple.
Yeah.
How come all the other temples lit up? Or maybe because he's in the Avatar state in the Avatar Temple. So then all the other temples lit up. Because he was in the Avatar state a couple more... I mean, he was in the Avatar state for hundreds of years.
Right.
And they weren't lit up that time. You know?
Yeah, maybe.
It's probably because he's in the temple.
Oh, yeah. Challenged him to an Agni Kai.
So Earthbenders, what would you be? Do you know?
You know...
Or what do you think you would be?
For a long time, like, I wanted to be an earthbender.
An earthbender?
Okay. I wanted to be.
Yeah.
Because it's such a common element. Like, there's earth all over.
Yeah.
Thinking about it, though, I would probably realistically be an airbender. Because I like to be more carefree and, like, kind of go with the flow. I'm very non-confrontational as well.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, I'm not head-on confrontational, but I do want to get to the heart of what's happening.
See, I feel like you would be more suited towards, like, being a waterbender.
Think?
Well, because waterbending are far more about having, like, a strong sense of community.
And going with the flow, and I don't know. What are the firebenders all about then? If earthbenders are attacking head on,
there's a whole scene where Iroh explains it.
Oh,
like when he's training Zuko.
Okay, wait. Oh, when he's training him how to firebend, yeah.
No. Later on, like
I like how Zuko was losing, and then he just comes back and beats him essentially, but then he's looked down as weak for missing, or not missing, but
Showing mercy.
Yeah, showing mercy. I think that's what makes him a good firebender in the end, though, isn't it? Because he doesn't stick to their strict
right
kill, die rules. Then he attacks.
Iroh just steps in.
Yeah.
Oh, he's such a badass.
Out of nowhere. This is the one only words of wisdom I could find in the whole episode. I mean, there's other things, but do not taint your victory. If you beat him, don't mess it up by making it worse. Yeah. Do not taint your victory.
God.
See, I told you, ginseng tea is my favorite. I swear he talks about jasmine tea in it. He talks about jasmine tea in the first episode.
Yeah.
I swear that's the one that he talked about. Maybe it's ginseng. Maybe I got it wrong. And this is where Katara
gives her standard speech of hope.
Talks down the Hulk.
Sun's getting
real low, big guy.
Oh man,
Sun's getting real low, big guy. I love in Thor Ragnarok when is it Thor Ragnarok? Oh yeah, where Thor's like,
he's trying to use that.
Sun's getting real low, big guy. It's like you're not the person who can use that. Just makes me want to watch Thor now. I am the last.
Could you imagine being 12
and being the last of your
kind?
Your kind.
Somebody telling you. Seriously, and then the statues changed again. So they moved? It was I don't think they moved, but like the animation, like somebody put like somebody else next to Roku.
Yeah.
Also, I think it's a poor temple design when you have the spiral or the cycle of the avatar going inward towards the center. Wouldn't you think you'd want like the first one and then work your way out so you can constantly build upon it?
I know. Maybe that's a sign that the avatar cycle will end at some point.
I mean, there's another avatar after this.
Well, yeah, but there's room for at least a couple more in there. So after a couple hundred or
prediction, like a foretelling, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Is there a prophecy to the avatar?
So now the episode ends, and there's not a lot of bending in this episode.
I love the half CGI of like clouds, and the earlier CGI of like him opening up the door to the air temple. I'm like, all right, like we didn't want to animate this part, so we're got an extra couple, like we've got some little extra in the budget. We'll CGI this in.
Yeah. So there was not a lot of bending in this one. There was one instance of water bending, 22 of fire bending, just because.
That Agni Kai.
Yeah, they had their battle, and then 14 of air bending because there's just, they're at the air temple, so there's a couple things that happen there, but there's not a lot. This one was kind of, it was. It's
a character like.
It's a character one. This one was honestly like action wise and everything that's happening. Other than that fight, there's not a lot that happens in this one, so it was kind of boring in a way, but at the same time, it again further establishes the characters and who they are and stuff.
So, I was gonna say, so you get to see Appa at the beginning of the episode, but for the most part, he's not in it either. But you do get the first instance of seeing Momo.
Yeah, which we didn't bring that
the
up.
lemur.
Yeah, I do have Momo, the symbols for him in a later episode, but I just read last night that Momo means peach in Japanese. And so when he says, "What are you going to call him?" and then Momo reaches and steals a peach from Sokka.
What?
And then Aang's like, "We'll call him Momo." And they all laugh. It's like, oh, because they're laughing. It's like, what are you going to call him? And I rip the shirt off of your body and, we're going to call him Shirt. It's like, I don't know, it's funny. So, all right, what do we want to rate this episode? Episode 3. What?
I was just looking at what else we got here. So I know I already brought up Commander Zhao, by the way, for being voiced by Jason Isaacs. Did you ever see the old school Ninja Turtles movies?
The olds? Oh, yeah.
Like the live action ones? All of them? Mm-hmm. So the guy who does the voice for Monk Gyatso is like the Lord in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, where they go back in time to like feudal Japan.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
When I was really little, I liked that movie, but I haven't seen it in a long time.
Yeah, because he does a bunch of like the weird.
Yeah.
He was in RoboCop 3.
There wasn't. Well, creatures. Let's talk about Momo. What the
Yeah,
heck is
Momo's
he?
the only one. He's
the only creature really in this whole thing.
Yeah, and they only refer to him just as a lemur.
Yeah, but he's a flying lemur, so he's kind of like a bat.
Like a bat lemur. Yeah, because he does have wings,
right,
which aren't always visible.
All right, so rating the episode, I do think this one was a weaker episode than the other ones, in my opinion. I liked some of the stuff, but I think this is... I'll start this one. I think I'm going to go... I'm going to go with the first one, because I honestly think this one's worse than the first one. It sounds weird, but...
I think it's better than the first one. Because, like, you get more of the, like, cultural stuff from the Fire Nation.
I suppose...
Because, like, having the first Agni Kai, episode 3, like that...
Yeah, that's pretty cool. You get a lot from the Fire Nation. You learn a lot more about the avatars and the cycle. I suppose, looking back on it, if you just took this as just an episode and just the only thing you knew about Avatar was just these 3, this would be an amazing episode because it dives into all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I guess I didn't think about that. Looking, like, knowing kind of what happens in the future and looking back on it, you're like, oh, yeah, this is all just... They're just explaining all the stuff I know, but that's what makes the episode good, is they're explaining all the stuff you know.
And thinking about it is, like, from, like, an adult perspective versus just, like, watching this if you were a kid. But, like, having somebody try to coddle you and, like, protect you just makes that realization of, like, the actual, like, hurt and pain that much worse.
Yeah.
In the long run.
Yeah.
Because, like, they're trying to, like, help him or, like, make him feel better. And then when he stumbles upon, like, the dead Fire Nation soldiers, especially, and then Monk Gyatso's body.
There was a lot of Fire Nation soldiers in that.
Yeah.
Room. He took down a lot of them.
Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, and that's what triggers his avatar state. And so having him, like, just flip out. Or just that big of an emotional
I do like the whole, like, all the different temples light up. So now the whole world knows that the Avatar's back.
Yeah, right.
That's pretty cool.
Just like,
all
whoops,
well,
sorry.
I'm liking this a little bit more now. I'm going to say 7.7, we'll say.
You know, funny, I was actually going to say a 7.9.
Really?
I like, which is weird because I think that's a lower score than I gave the first episode.
Yeah.
But, like...
these are all just kind of off the cuff, so...
Yeah.
We're not really basing it off of anything, but... yeah. So it's a 7.8 episode. Nice and easy. It's easy when there's 2 people who don't have to do as much math.
I mean, it was easy for that first one when you gave, like, 0.5s, and we're just like, all right, what's right in the middle?
Yeah. All right, well, that's been another Fandom Nights episode. And remember, don't taint your victory.
Just Iroh's wise sayings. That's our